G'day there guys, Marky here, and welcome back to another episode of r/Am I the Asshole? Hope you like this one, and if you do, sit back, relax, chuck a prawn to the barbie, and let's get right into it. Am I the asshole for calling my cousin untalented in front of our family after she stole my work? So I, female 16, have recently began applying for internships and jobs to spice up my resume. I have a strong passion for graphic design and visual effects. In the past, I have designed YouTube banners for many well-known people, edited their videos, and more. All of my work is watermarked with my name unless it's commissioned. My cousin, female 23, who has been very close to me since I was young, has had a lot of trouble finding a job. She's also pursuing the same field. One day, my cousin asked to see my portfolio with all my projects. Since we were so close, I didn't give it a second thought and sent her everything. My portfolio contains my best work. Keep in mind that it was watermarked with my name and socials in the bottom left corner. A few weeks go by, and my cousin had not found a job. Every once in a while, she comes and visits us and asks my parents questions, since her parents are out of state, about applying for jobs. She showed them her portfolio, resume, etc. When she let them see it, I was shocked. She had put all of my designs into her portfolio. All she did was cover the watermark with an ugly black bar with her name on top. She asked, beaming, if I thought it was nice. I didn't want to embarrass her and cause a scene, so I just nodded. The following week, our entire extended family visited for a dinner. My cousin told everyone that she'd finally landed a job, a rather well-paying one for a graphic designer. She went on and on, talking about how the interviewer mentioned that he was very impressed with her work. I wasn't exactly comfortable through all this, knowing she had stolen my work, but I kept my composure. The issue happened when my family started telling me to be more like my cousin and not laze around. I lost it. I started yelling at my family and cousin about how she had stolen my work, and that all that she knew how to do was to add a black bar and type her name out. I called her untalented enough that she felt the need to steal from a 16-year-old. My family was shocked. My cousin started crying and yelling that she had no idea what I was talking about, so I pulled up the messages she sent me asking for my portfolio. However, my parents didn't believe me and said that if I was telling the truth, why did I wait so long to say something? Even after explaining the entire situation to everyone, I was not trusted. And now my whole family is against me for causing a scene and making my cousin cry when we were supposed to be celebrating. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. 1. I called my cousin untalented and yelled at her after she landed a job from stealing my work, and 2. It was supposed to be a family get-together, and I probably could have settled it in a calmer way. And now in the comments, not the asshole. Find out who hired her and report her for stealing your portfolio. She can take a long walk off a short pier for stealing your work and then getting a job based on it. Ha! Wait till they expect her to produce the same type of work. This, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. However, she'll probably get canned once they realize she can't produce the same work. Not the asshole. The only thing you did wrong was not confront her when you first discovered she had stolen the stuff. Yep. And I understand the OP's parents' reaction, to be honest. It makes absolutely no sense that OP said nothing when her cousin showed her parents and her the portfolio the week before. And edit, out of interest, I had a quick look at OP's previous posts, and it seems that the OP's username came from a since-deleted post where they were confessing to catfishing some poor boy online for 2 years. Which makes me wonder if the OP's family has some reservations about their integrity. And this is why I see this as an everyone sucks here. OP for not calling the cousin out the moment the fraud was discovered, and the cousin obviously for hijacking the work of a child to score a job they will hopefully fail at once they're asked to put their skills, or lack thereof, to the test. Not the asshole. And you'll have so much proof on all of your work that if you want, you could potentially legally cause her issues, as copyright is automatically given to the creator. Your family is crap for not believing you. Next time, do not send your full work to anyone and show them in person, or put your watermark in the middle of the workpiece that you are showing them in big, bold, full color so they can't steal it. And now, onto the update. I got my cousin fired. Thank you for the support in my last post. I know many of you requested an update, and I promised one. A lot has happened the last few days, so let me know if I need to clarify anything. After I wrote my first post, I felt ready to talk to my parents again about what happened, and I showed them proof that my portfolio designs were mine. They apologized for blaming me and called my cousin and aunt and uncle, telling her that her actions were wrong. That was all they did. I took the advice that I was given in my last post, and I emailed my cousin's employer. I provided progress photos/videos, layer screenshots, history, etc. To sum it up, they apologized that this happened to me and informed me that my cousin would be fired. I was not invited to fill in her spot or anything of the sort, since I'm looking for an internship rather than a full-time job. This morning, my cousin turned up to mine and my parents' house and started yelling profanities at me and crying. Side note, to my knowledge, my identity should have been concealed when the employer told my cousin she was fired, but I'm guessing she just connected the dots. She told my parents what I had done, and they were angry at me. Even though I had proved that the art and designs were mine, they immediately started berating me for going so far as to getting her fired. My parents have never exactly been supportive of my graphic design and editing hobbies, but they love taking advantage of it. I have edited videos for my mum in the past, to which she claims I price too high. I charge $15 an hour, which is less than minimum wage where I'm from, and put together some things for my dad, who has never really been happy with me for picking design for a hobby. He wanted me to do something useful, like coding. A massive argument broke out. My aunt and uncle came to the house as well, and I was just crying. My cousins, parents, aunt and uncle were yelling at me for getting my cousin fired. They all knew that the portfolio wasn't hers, but they didn't believe that it was justifiable to have her lose a job that she worked so hard for. A part of me thinks that they are defending my cousin because she's older and more mature in their eyes. I'm pretty sensitive to arguments, so I didn't want to be around anymore. I called a friend's mum and she picked me up. I've explained the entire situation to her and my friend, and they're letting me stay over for a bit until my mum and dad decide to pick me up. My friend's mum said she would talk to them and explain why my cousin is the only person in the wrong right now. I just hope this blows over quickly and that I can get an internship somewhere. And now in the comments, I am so very, very sorry. You did nothing wrong at any time in this. Art theft is real theft. That's your work. Your cousin wasn't going to be able to do that job and was way in over her head. But more than that, in what world is stealing and lying working hard for a job? I don't know how to get it through to your parents and extended family. Your work was good enough to get your cousin a job, meaning that it's valuable. So why is it not valuable when you do it? Why is her stealing something valuable from you not wrong? Why are you stealing an opportunity from her when she actually stole your work from you? Maybe it's as simple as, gee, mum and dad, you brought me up not to lie or steal, and to report people who do. Did you not mean it? Good luck finding an internship. I'm sorry this is happening. Please try to let your art, and not this, define you. Obviously not the asshole. And next time your parents ask you to do anything graphic design related, tell them, no thanks. Since you don't support me in this area, you're not allowed to benefit from or take advantage of my skills. Tell them to ask the cousin to do it. OP, I hope you are safe and for the time being, continue to stay on with friends until this thing blows over and your parents are calmer. If they continue to berate you over this non-stop, continue staying with friends. You've done nothing wrong. Moving forward, next time whatever work you make for your portfolio, get it watermarked as proof that it's yours, and make sure the watermark is unremovable. And OP replies, I am safe. Thank you. I'm currently designing a new watermark for myself to slap right in the middle of my work. I honestly think this will end up with OP leaving at 18, getting an amazing career in graphic design, and then her parents asking her for money because family. And worst of all, they will probably try to make her find a job for her cousin because the cousin is shite at graphic design and no one will want her. The cousin would likely have been fired eventually anyway, unless they really were talented enough to produce work of the quality of OP's. If the cousin was talented, she would have her own portfolio fuller than OP's. This is the chicken and the egg dilemma. How does the cousin not have a portfolio? Was the cousin lazing around? Yeah, a 23-year-old whose portfolio is so unimpressive, they need to steal from a 16-year-old. Exceptional people exist, but a portfolio is a built-up showcase like a resume. It's about time as much as talent. An incredible 16-year-old's portfolio is still a 16-year-old's portfolio. If her portfolio at 23 can't easily beat her 16-year-old cousin's, then she almost certainly doesn't have the talent or hasn't put in the time. She wouldn't be able to hold on to that job for long. Our next post is titled, Getting Married with Risk of Losing Kids. I, 35 female, have been with my significant other, 40 male, for 4 years. I'm going to admit beforehand that we had an affair and he left his wife to be with me. Not a day goes by that we don't regret what we've done. His kids, son 20 and daughter 18, have not met me, but they know of me. He personally went to confess to BM and to his kids, who were 16 and 14 at the time. They were shattered when they found out. They told significant other that they will never want me a part of their lives, and should he continue to see me, he will lose them forever. We thought that over time, and by only spending time with their dad, their position would soften, but they are still just as angry as before. I've also personally emailed them apologizing to them about the hurt that I've caused, and assured them that I would never come between them and their dad, and should they ever be open to the idea of meeting, I would be open to it. I'm a widow and have a daughter who I've been raising alone for 8 years. He is great with my 14-year-old daughter, and she adores him. When he told them about us getting married, they told him should he go through with it, he'll be dead to them, and he would only be a father to my daughter after the wedding day. He's heartbroken by this. We are both convinced that they'll follow suit with their threats as well. We're supposed to get married at the end of the month, but he's starting to second-guess himself, and questioning whether or not he can go through with it. We are at a loss for what to do. I know he doesn't want to lose his kids. They're in their prime years, and he wants to be a part of their lives. I also don't want to come between him and his kids, and losing them would probably destroy him. I know what we did was horrible, and not a day goes by where we don't think about it. And now in the comments, that's a valid feeling they have, honestly. It sounds like they have felt this way from the beginning, and it's up to him to choose. If your daughter's dad had cheated and broke y'all up, would you be okay with her dad choosing his lover over her? Would that hurt you to know his lover and her kid was more important than his child's feelings? To be honest, I'm not sure there's much you can do here. You can't force the kids to forgive him or spend time with him or want to see you. And you can hope that they will come back around, but it's just as likely that they never will. They are serious and entitled to their feelings, and he isn't entitled to be in their lives, especially when he's brought so much upheaval to them. But I think there is something that you really need to consider. It is entirely possible that if they disown him, eventually he'll start to blame you for it, and it will badly damage your relationship, possibly to the point where it ends with you splitting because he resents you for the fact that his kids do not want anything to do with him, even though he's the one who did it. He may not want to resent you, but these feelings aren't easy to predict or control, and there is no guarantee that that won't happen. And you also need to decide if you're going to be able to deal with the guilt over it, because it sounds like you already feel awful about it, and that will probably only get worse if they cut him out totally, and you feel responsible for it. I would honestly sit down and really consider what you want your future to look like, and if all of this mess is really worth it in the end, for both of you. You're the only ones who can really decide that. Why marry someone you genuinely regret ever meeting, or at least regret sleeping with? If you are each other's daily reminders of a horrible thing, maybe you should separate, take time to recover, and move on with other people. Sadly though, I think some other posters are right that if the kids haven't recovered in this time, then their father is dead to them no matter what happens next. They might truly believe this or that action will help them, but it might not. In fact, they might feel angrier over time the more the reality sinks in. I certainly think that it's worth keeping communication lines open as much as possible, such as sending Christmas cards, but other than that, the relationship they had with him is gone. And now, onto the update. We're over. Future dear husband asked his kids to go to dinner with him on Tuesday to see where their heads were at. When he came home, he seemed off and distant for a few days. I figured he needed some space. Last night, after my daughter went to bed, we got to talking. He told me that he's apologized to them for what they've been through, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to make amends. His daughter asked him if he's still going to get married to me, but he tried to keep the topic on them. Both of his kids then broke down. His daughter said that he is more willing to be a dad to my daughter than to her. His son then goes that he is pushing them away from him. They want to trust him, they want to fix their relationship with him, but knowing that he comes home to me is what is stopping them from trusting him. His son feels that they are not close anymore, and it's hurting them that they can't come to him. His daughter goes to say these past 4 years have been hell for her. They both feel that he put me and my daughter above them. I can't imagine how that was for him, hearing that your kids can't trust you because of your partner. I felt terrible. I guess he knows their stance and he chose them. I have to agree with one of the comments to my previous post. They are giving him another chance to prove they come first and he should take it. And he took it. It was one of the most heartbreaking experiences of my life. I know it's nothing compared to what the bio mom and the kids felt when he confessed about having an affair. I returned his wedding ring to him and he's looking for a place. I've been an emotional pile of goo since last night. Today he moved his stuff into the guest bedroom and actively is searching for a place. I just wish I could just apologize to the bio mom and to his kids in person, but I know that that will never happen. And now in the comments, there is nothing you can say or do to his ex-wife or his children that could ever help, fix, undo, or even heal what has been done. The fact of the matter is that he did choose you over his family. Cheating is one thing. It sucks and it's wrong, and everyone gets hurt. But leaving your whole family and starting or joining another one is a completely different level of betrayal. It's not just cheating, and it's not just a divorce, and they probably internalized all of those feelings of rejection and not being good enough for dad/husband to stay. And right or wrong, you were the personification of that pain. I'm sure he had reasons for cheating and reasons for divorcing his wife, but at the end of the day, the emotional response for being abandoned and replaced is often visceral and intense, and therefore difficult to throw logic and reason at. You've probably dodged a bullet. I'm sure it doesn't feel this way now, but this is a guy who made a very common and very human mistake, and is now compounding it by not being able to own his actions. He can't give his kids what they want, the first family back together. That family, that story, is done, and it most likely wasn't ever what they thought it was in the first place. Happily married people don't have affairs that blow up their marriages. It's normal for kids to want the fantasy of their bio parents being together, but he's making a huge error in giving his kids the power to dictate who his romantic partner is. Why? Because that power is actually a burden. It's not a choice kids get to make, because it's not a choice they should have to make. I'm sorry for all the hurt and pain that you're going through. Getting involved with a married man is a mistake that you don't repeat, but don't let the finger waggers make you feel like it's the original sin. At the end of the day, you were unwise, but you weren't the one breaking vows. What a terrible story all around. But if you're going to leave your spouse and you have children, don't say it's to be with another person. It's the kiss of death in so many parent-child relationships. Better yet, leave first, give the dust time to settle, and then start officially dating. And don't ever frickin' celebrate your anniversary of meeting first time. My loser of an uncle exposed his affair to the entire family that way. I love that his ex-wife used it against him to get some more money out of him. I have been, not a primary player, but an adjacent player, think sister, girlfriend, cousin, in one of these dramas. And it was amazing to me how the cheater and affair partner just expected everyone to play some twisted, daytime soap opera, bizarro version of Happy Families. Like the cheated on and their children should just roll over and be happy. I've since learned that type of attitude is very, very common. I guess the people who can stop and accurately identify exactly how much damage an affair like this causes has the self-control to not engage in the affairs. But yeah, it's an absolute expectation that everybody goes down the yellow brick road singing. And that's where I'm going to end the episode today, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know what you thought about it down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.